What's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a video on how to get someone to like you that you really want to like you. So basically, what did I call the title? What to do if somebody doesn't like you, but it's important for you that they do like you. So I kind of just came up with this today. This was something that I just jotted down off the top of my head. I already actually did a video and I just hated the way it looked. I hated the way it came out. I was just so upset with myself because I tried to do from the back-facing camera. Long story short, I did it from my back-facing camera and I couldn't really see what I looked like. I just knew that like the actual frame was in frame. So anyways, I hate to edit my videos, honestly. I just feel like it flows so much better when I'm not editing and I'm just kind of telling you what I think and just being super free. So that's that. I'm ready to tell you about my top tips, tricks, hacks, and I guess you could say journal prompts of how to get somebody to like you that doesn't like you, but it's important for them to like you. So first thing I have is separate your feelings from, the first thing is separate your feelings and your ego from the situation. So it's not the easiest thing to do sometimes, especially when we're really emotionally charged, but it's super important to separate your feelings and your ego from the situation and look at the situation from an objective point of view, because majority of the time when people are, hurting you in any way emotionally, it's never intentional. Usually it's because they don't know how to act, they don't know how to, treat you the way that you want to be treated. So ultimately, try to look at it from their perspective, which is my second tip. Put yourself in their shoes, okay? That's super important. Put yourself in their shoes and try to understand at least one thing about what they're saying. Even if you don't agree, try to understand, because if you have the ability to do that, you are so objective with yourself that you can see faults in yourself when other people also see faults in yourself, and then you can change those things. So you won't feel such a resistance towards change. So I have my trusty paper here. The next thing is ask yourself why it's important for you to be friends with this person. Why is it important for you to have a relationship with this person? Everyone has their own reasons, but it's very important to be super clear on that, because without clarity on that question, you're doing something that maybe in the end isn't even necessary, okay? So if you are asking the question, why do I want to be friends with this person, or why do I want a relationship with this person, and it is for the greater good of everyone involved, and it's best for everyone for you to be in a relationship with this person, then go ahead and do it. But if you ask yourself, why do I want to be friends with this person? If it comes from ego, just to be liked, just to be accepted by a certain group of people or a certain person, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. It's not worth you changing, if you will, or compromising on yourself when you don't necessarily need a relationship with these people. You're doing it out of ego. So you need to understand not everyone is going to like you. This is definitely something that my mom taught me growing up. You will have people that don't like you in your life, and that's okay. All right? That's okay. There is nothing wrong with that. Embrace that. All right? Everyone is different. Everyone vibes at different vibrations, and ultimately you don't need to like everyone, but it's best to be nice and cordial and just nice to everyone. It's just not nice to be mean. Does that make sense? Okay, so the next thing is ask yourself how you can still stand your ground but still be as gentle as possible. Okay, so the reason is because you don't want them to come from a defense, okay? So you do want to stand your ground because you don't want to seem like, you're not strong in your opinion, but you also don't want them to come onto the defense. So basically, do what you can do as gentle as possible. Say what you need to say as gentle as possible. So even if it's a very calm letdown, a very calm, I don't agree with you, I disagree with what you're saying, but I really hope that we can talk about this and work it out. That's totally fine, okay? Try not to let your ego get involved. Even though sometimes it's very difficult, the ego wants to jump out, the ego wants to prove a point, try to hold back on that, okay? Now, the next thing I have is remember that relationships are built on trust and open communication where both parties feel safe and heard, okay? That is so important. If you are holding space for somebody in a relationship, it looks more like listening than responding, okay? So as a society, we are programmed to respond. Majority of the people in society are generators. If you know human design, you know what I'm talking about. Your strategy is to respond to the world, okay? If your strategy is to respond, sometimes it's very difficult for us to hold back and stay in a position where we are just listening and we are just absorbing the information. So it's super, super important to remember listening looks more like silence than it does responding, okay? Engaging in a conversation, having a conversation back and forth does look a little bit different, okay? But when someone's expressing a concern to you, it doesn't always need to be a conversation. Sometimes it's just an expression. And if you're listening to that expression and you're absorbing what they're saying properly or at least at all, okay? Who's to say I know what properly absorption is never mind. But you know what I mean. If you are being nice and you are giving them that space to open up and to be vulnerable with you, that is so, so valuable in a relationship and in healing relationships, okay? Because the majority of relationships come from miscommunication anyways, okay? If you cannot talk about that miscommunication and have a level head about it, then you will never be able to progress in any of your relationships, okay? Or you will be in a position where you don't feel like you're able to be yourself in your relationships, which is almost even worse. Okay, so again, very, 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 very important. Make sure that you keep a safe space for these people so they feel like they can come to you and they can open up to you about things that are bothering them. So trust and communication takes time, okay? We all know that. So if you have broken trust or broken communication between another person, remind them that you're willing to make the effort and you want to spend that time on your relationship with them, okay? A reminder is always nice for someone, especially if they're in a position where they feel like they haven't been heard, they haven't been seen. Listen, I am always here and I'm always ready to go ahead and discuss and build that respect between us and that communication between us and, discuss any problems or concerns you might have. So, yeah. How can I be the nicest, most gentle version of myself but still sticking to my boundaries, okay? So this is more like a journal prompt, okay? Because you are the person who decides that, but you want to see how you can be the most gentle version of yourself at all times with people like this, okay? Because it's clear that you're needing assistance in this relationship, okay? So it's not something that's easy and free-flowing, okay? Some relationships are very easy and free-flowing and some need more work, okay? And that's okay. Everyone has the ability to be in any relationship if they put in the work, okay? This is why I don't really necessarily believe in soulmates. I do to an extent, but for different reasons. I believe that anybody can be in a healthy relationship as long as they put in the effort and make it work. So the next thing is remember that saying sorry, okay, it doesn't make you look weak or make you look like you don't have boundaries, okay? That is so, so, so important for me to remind you of. Saying sorry does not look like, hey, I'm letting my guard down and I just feel, like I'm so weak and I have no boundaries and I don't care if you walk all over me. No. Saying sorry is showing that you're willing to bridge that gap between you and that other person and have open communication with them. Okay, you're willing to say, maybe I didn't speak to you in the way that you were wanting to be spoken to, and maybe you got me the wrong way, okay? I didn't intend for it to be like that, or maybe you did intend for it to be like that. Sorry, my dog. Diego! Eli! Bo, Diego. Anyways, Diego, inside. So, this just means that you're willing to show your vulnerabilities, okay? When you're vulnerable with that person, they are more willing to be vulnerable with you. When you show them a soft side of you, they're more willing to show their soft side to you, and that's where you can go on a deeper level of communication and building a relationship with them. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really need to take my dog outside. He has been barking up a storm. So I just want to thank you guys again that you've made it to the end of this video. If you guys like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below for more videos like it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.